Destyn Hill, the whole tweet several months ago, again, Michael, that he would be sort of enrolling in May. That's now even furtherly underscored now by Sam's reporting, it sounds like.
Yeah, Sam's very dialed into the. I will say this: Sam's very dialed into the boot. That's Louisiana area. He's very tied in with different contacts and stuff, and the fact that he's doubling down on it tells you got even more confirmation that he checked multiple times on this again, and he believes that he is coming now. Will not to be a Debbie Downer. I will say I haven't heard from FSU side that it's definite, but I have heard from FSU they're very active and they're not telling me no like I've heard before. Like it's basically a wait and see, stay tuned type of responses of what I've got from the FSU side. So I just want to categorize that. I don't want just want to be very transparent about all this, but certainly Sam in his context of what he's hearing feels like that Destyn Hill is going to enroll sometime in May. And as I've said for the longest, Sam had this from all the way, I would say, all the way down to December 21st. I think that was when the tweet was made, first tweet. So certainly, if this comes out to fruition and it's true, Sam certainly broke the biggest recruiting story, I think, the whole year of, Destyn Hill finally making the FSU after a 2-year wait.
I don't know if we need to apologize,
Mm.
but sorry, James B. 300 in the kitty, our guy sends us from Pensacola. He's a freaking pillar, everybody. He's on this piece of chiseled granite in my house. He says, I better send this now before we get to the Destyn Hill talk. I might be physically incapable after that. So we need to maybe do a wellness check on our guy, James B. James, you're incredible, dude. Your generosity, your loyalty, man, is unmatched. We appreciate the heck out of it. But yeah, James, it's happening, man. I don't know. For a lot of people, Michael, this was a really, listen, every generation of Florida State fan of the last, 30 years has had their Deshaun Platt, their Callahan Bright,
Yeah.
their Willie Downs. I mean, and they never show up, and you're just so darn hurt about it. And in this day and age, you figure Destyn Hill would have tweeted something, a family would have tweeted something. But Sam Spiegelman, as you said, he's so dialed in that, again, says it on your screen, everybody, multiple sources close to the situation confirmed to On3 today, or earlier this week, rather, that Hill is still on track to join Florida State in May. This goes on to the tweet from December. So,
Right.
Dream the dream, everybody. But, Michael, what do you think this means for Florida State? He hasn't played football in so long, man, in so long.
Yeah, I mean, I told people this last week that he's still been keeping himself ready, training and all that stuff, but he hasn't played football where somebody's hitting him, So it's going to take some adjustment time. But man, this kid is ultra talented. He will add a lot to that wide receiver room. He certainly gives you an explosive playmaker early on. Like I said, it's going to take a little time, assuming he does get here in May. Even with him having the whole summer, I think it'll take some time, but man, he is a very electric player. Out of Louisiana, Edward Carr High School, certainly a tremendous talent. And like I said, I'll say the same thing I've said before. I'm skeptical until I see him there. But the fact that Sam has doubled down on this, I think it says a lot about he's getting it from multiple people now, and he's checked on it again. So, like I said, we'll wait and see. But it's certainly interesting and certainly would be massive news for FSU and continuing to add to that what has already been a changed wide receiver room.
James B's asking, is he still considered a 5-star? Was he a 5-star? I don't think he was, but Michael, you would know more than I would.
I think he's a high 4-star, but definitely a very good one. A guy that gets very good separation off routes. That's the thing you'll notice about Destyn. If you watch a lot of his games and you watch a lot of his clips, the way he gets out of his routes with separation is what makes him special. I think obviously he has good pull away speed, but the main thing he does is the separation when he hits that first cut out of the routes. That's what he's going to bring a lot of that to FSU, assuming the news comes true that he's here. Very good hands, does a lot of different things, but inside the routes, that's the thing that always jumped out to be about Destyn. Just either the pull away speed or just the slight the separation you look for in those routes, and that's a big deal with this FSU offense when you see what they're doing and what they want to do, and as far as getting explosive playmakers in space, I think that's what Destyn will certainly add.
Man, I mean, his tape is pretty good. I think at a certain point, I just kind of stopped really thinking it was going to happen. And I'm like, whatever, man. But like watching this now, you're like, man, maybe I don't know how much of this you can maintain by not playing competitive football for so
Right,
long.
right.
Golly, if it's close to this, he'll figure out a way to get back into the groove, and then certainly you got yourself a kind of a unique playmaker. And I can't
Yeah,
think of anybody on this roster that compares to him apples to apples right now. I see our guy. Somebody here saying it reminds him of Rashad, which that'd be pretty cool to have Rashad Green.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things he does with, like I said, inside the routes. Rashad did that really well as far as what he does, getting that space and separation on routes. But he does that. But like I said, we don't know how ready he is, assuming he does show up in May. So that's really a question. But I don't think I have heard like FSU from the moment, even when he didn't sign or all that stuff, they stayed on. They're very active and consistent. So I'm sure everything I've heard is that he's kept himself in really good shape. He's certainly been ready, but as I said, he hadn't been hit in like 2 years. So that's something that will be just an adjustment, especially even the adjustment to college level. It's a little bit different, but yeah, certainly if he gets on campus, regardless, it's going to be a big deal. I don't know the eligibility stuff of how that would work or how many years or whatever, guys. But that's what we know at this point with Destyn Hill, that uh, it's certainly something that to monitor.
Yeah, Cruz says I'll believe it when I see it. Don't
That's,
buy in yet. So
I'm with you, Yak. That's what I've said. But it's still significant. Like I said, when you get somebody that's in that area that knows people, knows different people around Edna Carr and different people around Destin in that Louisiana area, Sam's very dialed in. Sam's very good. And like I said, Sam's going to have the number one recruiting story for FSU in a long time if this comes to fruition in May. So we're going to keep tracks on it. When I get a thing from FSU side, certainly, guys, I will drop a nugget. But as of now, it's kind of a wait and see.